and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Crowd filing in the Yankee Stadium for this Saturday afternoon matchup. It is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Today, it's the New York Yankees against the Seattle Mariners in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees started the second half of the season in fine fashion with a 4-3 victory over the Seattle Mariners. And since the game was in the Bronx, they were the Bronx Bombers.
Well, they got it done with power last night in the second inning as Chris Young got things started for the Yankees. A 3-2 pitch. This is headed for the left field seats. Young with his 11th home run of the year. And it's a good thing when the Yankees score first. They are 39-13, but the game was tied at 3. Alex Rodriguez with number 19 posed a bit on that one. He knew it was gone. The Yankees had a 4-3 win over the Mariners in the opening game of the series.
All right, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do for you. Hisashi Iwakuma will get the start for Seattle, and for the Yankees, it's a former Mariner, Michael Pineda. Boy, he's pitched well of late.
He's going for a career-high 10th win today if he can win this game. His last 3 starts, he's been excellent. He's put up some good numbers. He lost one, he's won one, had a no decision. In the no decision, the Yankees won. You can see the one walk. That was Kevin Kiermaier of the Rays. Now, I mentioned him because I didn't have time to mention the 24 guys that he struck out in these last 3 games. He's been excellent. The Yankees are doing well when he's on the mound.
And the Yankees are doing well when that man hits. Alex Rodriguez has had a great year. When we come back, Meredith Marakovich will break down last night's performance to a fine powder next on Yes.
Events. Alex Rodriguez hit a solo shot in the 7th inning last night that proved to be the difference maker. In fact, it was the 4th consecutive game in which Alex Rodriguez drove in a go-ahead run. It's pretty clear he's been a big part of the offense, a big bat in the middle of the order.
It's a big hit. And Alex has that ability to hit the ball at the ballpark in any field here. And that's a big hit, and he gets the second half started off the right way.
I think Joe deserves a lot of credit because he's put me in a situation where I can help the team win, and I think DH John for me has been it's been good because I'm able to prepare different, and I just feel very comfortable.
That's just what Al does. I mean, he's probably one of the most clutch guys in the lineup, and when he comes up in a situation like that, you know, you feel like more times than not he's going to come through. He's been that guy for us this year, so it was great to see him come through again for us.
I'm rested, I'm healthy, and it definitely felt good tonight.
That blast, the 19th of the year for Rodriguez. He has had great numbers at home this year, batting .331. He's drove in 32 runs, not to mention he's knocked 9 out of the ballpark. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Ken Singleton and Michael Kay coming your way next with lineups, first pitch, baseball, right here on Yes.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Pixels in theaters July 24th. By La Quinta Inns and Suites. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book now at LQ.com. By Men's Radiation Centers of New York. When it comes to fighting cancer, precision is everything. Call 844-2-RADIATION-DOC. And by your Tri-State BMW Centers. All right, so the Yankees trying to make it 2 in a row in the second half of the season. Yankees have taken the field. Michael Pineda taking his warm-ups, and we're taking a look at the Mariners starting lineup presented by your local Acura dealer. Seattle comes in at 41 and 49. They lead off their shortstop, Brad Miller, batting second, playing third. Kyle Seager, he had 2 home runs in yesterday's game. Robinson Cano at second base will hit third. Cleaning up right fielder Nelson Cruz. Seth Smith in left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing center, Austin Jackson. Mark Trumbo, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing first base, Logan Morrison. And the struggling offensive catcher, Mike Zunino, will bat ninth. He's hitting .162.
You can see him there right in the middle of your picture. That is Big Mike. Michael Pineda. He gets the start for the Yankees this afternoon. He's already pitched one time against his former team, the Mariners. That was out in Seattle on June 1st, and he was a winner. Those are his numbers. They're on the year 9 and 5, 3.64, more than a strikeout per inning. Let's check out the pitcher's scouting report. Brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Well, his last 3 starts, 24 strikeouts, just 1 walk. He's been very impressive all season long in the control department. The slider is the key pitch for him. If his slider is working, it's going to be a long afternoon for these Mariner hitters. And how about this? Daydreaming. While his ERA on the season is 3.64, during day games, it's 2.03. So he is really tough when you don't need the lights.
Now, the lights are on today because it's overcast, and they will be on for the entire game in all likelihood because that's the forecast today.
It's like the sun's trying to peek through, though.
Trying. It's failing, though. It's losing the battle. Hopefully it does win. So Seattle's 41 and 49. The Yankees are 49 and 40. And don't look now, but the Yankees now have the largest lead of any division leader in Major League Baseball. Brad Miller is set. So is Pineda. Let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is outside. We are underway. The crew chief is Gary Cederstrom. He's behind the plate. Eric Cooper at first. Lance Barksdale, the second base ump. Quinn Walcott, the third base umpire. 1-1.
Yeah, I mentioned that game that Pineda beat the Mariners June 1st in Seattle. He worked 6 innings that game, struck out 9. As we look at Brad Miller, 8 home runs. Pretty good power for a shortstop. The Yankees won that game 7-2. And they swept the Mariners out on the West Coast.
1. Line drive, a base hit to left field. Gardner cuts over. He'll get the ball in quickly. A leadoff single for Brad Miller. Let's check out the Yankee defense, which is presented as always by Geico. In the outfield, we'll start with Gardner, since you just saw Gardner. In center is Ellsbury, and Gary Jones against the right-hander gets to start out in right field. In the infield is Headley, Gregorius, Ref Snyder, who's getting a run at second base, and then Teixeira at first. Brian McCann, day game after night game, is behind the plate. Michael Pineda is on the mound. Well, here's Kyle Seager. He carries a 7-game hitting streak into this game. Had 2 home runs yesterday off Masahiro Tanaka. And there's a strike.
There's our Jeep hitter scouting report. Timely home runs. 8 of his last 9 home runs have either tied the game for the Mariners or given them the lead, including both of them last night. He's been a Bronx bomber. 6 for his last 9 at Yankee Stadium, last 2 games, a double, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. And he also plays the field well, the Gold Glove winner last year. He doesn't even stop at first base here at Yankee Stadium in the last couple of games. Just touches it on the way by.
Chop towards second. Ref Snyder goes to second one. On to first. Not in time.
That's interesting because Ref Snyder was out here early today working with Joe Espada, the Yankee infield coach, on this very same play. The feed to second base. The ball was not hit hard by Seager, so it's going to be a tough turn anyway. But still, it's interesting that, you know, right away he's tested in the ballgame of what he worked on earlier today out on second base.
You can see he's a better second baseman than he was in spring training, but you can see still mechanical, where it's not as fluid as, say, the guy at the plate, Robinson Canó.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to compare people with Canó, who's an outstanding second baseman, but the Yankees are hoping it comes with Ref Snyder with time. Canó swings at the first pitch and skies at the center. Deep. Going back is Ellsbury, turning, looking, see ya. A 2-run home run for Robinson Canó. That ball kept carrying, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead.
Well, Canó is slowly finding his power stroke. That's just his 7th home run of the year, but it's his 5th in his last 21 games. In his first 67 games, he only had 2 home runs. Well, that was up middle, and he got all of it. Straight away center. Well, not straight away, a little bit towards left center, but still, that's a long home run here at Yankee Stadium.
There's Nelson Cruz. If you see the way Ellsbury was tracking that ball, he thought it was in the ballpark, and it just kept going. So it carried on a very hot night or hot afternoon. The 0-1.
You know, that home run kind of reminded me of the one that Bryce Harper hit here, almost the same spot a few weeks ago, and I think it was Gardner in center field then, and he went back on it like he was going to catch it.
Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Gregorius. The throw across the diamond. Oh, what a play by Teixeira! He kept his foot on the bag and made an awesome scoop for the second out.
Wow. Well, first of all, Gregorius unloads. He's trying to get it somewhere in the vicinity. And Teixeira, well, I don't know. They might challenge. Are they going to challenge this one? I think they are. And it appeared that his foot did come off the bag trying to catch the ball. And he does barely. You can see it just at the very end of the first baseman's mitt. But check out the foot. Does it stay on the bag?
No.
And they're going to challenge this one as far as the Mariners are concerned. They want a second look. And you're going to see it before they do. And it appears this foot does come off the bag, and Cruz is going to be on. So get out the whiteout, everybody.
This shouldn't take that long for the umpires back in Manhattan to take a look. Crowd just sees it on the scoreboard now, and they realize that it's going to be overturned. Kenny, the whiteout stick that you got me last year, one of the greatest gifts ever.
Wow.
I used it. I mean, how often do you use a gift?
Do you use it over the winter, or you just save it?
I practice over the winter because I make mistakes over the winter.
No, we all do.
So they do overturn that. We'll see how they score it. Probably be a hit.
That's got to be a base hit. If I'm cruising, I don't get a hit on that one. Come on.
One minute and 15 seconds for the review. And Seattle will maintain its challenge, and that is scored a hit for Cruz. Smith takes outside.
So the Mariners, who all season long have somewhat been challenged offensively, they jump out to a 2-0 lead here in the first.
Now 2-1.
This is what Michael was talking about. Ellsbury tracking it like he's got a chance. About right here, he said, oh, maybe I don't.
He's wrong on the board in center, so they've changed. It's now 1-1 on Smith. 7th home run for Canó. One and 2.
Smith played right field here last night. Today he's over in left. Nelson Cruz was DH last night. Today he's playing right field.
And the DH is Mark Trumbo. So a rocky beginning for Michael Pineda. The single by Miller. Seager a force out. And Robinson Cano with the 2-run home run. And Cruz an infield single. That one is tapped out to Headley. He gets the force at second, hesitated, almost lost that play, but made it for the second out. And that scored 5-6 on the force.
Yeah, with all the shifts going on in Major League Baseball, you see plays that you haven't really seen much. You can see the ball is there in plenty of time to get Cruz at second, so there's 2 down. 5-6. That play is scored.
A strike to Austin Jackson. Last night's 4-3 Yankee victory snapped a 5-game winning streak for Seattle here at Yankee Stadium.
Seattle has yet to win a game against the Yankees this year.
0-4.
Yeah, the Yankees have already won the season series.
The 0-2. And the pitch. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Yeah, pretty good slider, though. That one had a little depth to it. Watch it break just at the end, and Jackson just able to spoil it. Right off the end of the bat.
Mariners have been very average, 4-6 in their last 10, 9-11 last 20, 14-16 last 30, and they're 8 games under 500. for the season. Tapped out right side, grabbed there by Teixeira. He flips to Canó, and that will do it. But Seattle takes an early lead. With a man on first and one out, Robinson Cano jumped on the first pitch, hit a fly ball that kept going over the wall. And Seattle 2, and the Yankees coming back. That will try to make it back, and the starting lineup presented by Lexus. Jacoby Ellsbury in center field will lead off, batting second. Playing left, Brett Gardner. The DH, Alex Rodriguez, at third. Cleaning up first baseman Mark Teixeira. The catcher is Brian McCann, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Chase Headley. Garrett Jones in right field will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the shortstop Didi Gregorius, and Rob Refsnyder, the second baseman, will bat ninth.
Veteran right-hander Hisashi Iwakuma getting the start for the Mariners today. 1-1 on the year. 5.22. This is only his 6th start. We'll get into the reason why only 6 starts in just a moment. And he has been very steady for these Mariners in 4 years. He's 39-21 coming up to this season. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. 11 weeks on the disabled list with a strained latissimus muscle. That's a muscle in your back. And last year, 15-game winner. So very solid for these Mariners. The year before, he won 14. And in his last start, maybe starting to get it together, he grounded the Angels. 8 shutout innings in a win over the Angels in his last start.
Here's Ellsbury, hitless in his last 9 at bats. And the first pitch is high, 1-0.
I think this is one of the reasons why the Mariners have struggled in the early going. They've really missed Iwakuma in their rotation. Fairly solid pitcher, very good splitter.
One and one.
And they might miss him even more next year. He could be a free agent at the end of this season.
One and two. Now against Iwakuma, you pretty much have to go base to base. He's not allowed a stolen base in 33 starts. So even Ellsbury and Gardner would be hard pressed. We'll see if they try. We'll see if they have a chance.
And the Mariners with injuries, not only to Iwakuma, but to James Paxton. Very talented young left-hander. He's been out for a long period of time. They were counting on these guys to be fall in line right after Felix Hernandez, who the Yankees will see tomorrow in their starting rotation.
Grounded back to Iwakuma. One away. Why don't we check out Seattle's defense presented by Geico. Smith at left, Jackson in center, and Cruz over and right. In the infield, Seager, Miller, Canó, and Morrison. That's third to first. Zunino behind the plate. You just saw Iwakuma with a nice defensive play. He's on the mound. Here's Brett Gardner, 7-game hitting streak for Gardner.
You look at Canó out at second base, of course, a primetime defender. We all know that, but he is up a little bit. Even though Gardner has the ability to hit the ball hard through the right side, he's guarding against Gardner trying to drag a bunt by Iwakuma.
Grounded in the hole, backhanded by Miller. Sets and fires. 2 outs. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 82 degrees. Not much wind. Humidity is 63%. It's overcast, increasing humidity. And tomorrow is supposed to be even worse. Tomorrow, I saw a weather report yesterday. It might be the hottest day of the year up to this point.
So that means we're going with short sleeves.
I think we're going without sleeves tomorrow. We might go shirtless.
Yeah, all right.
Might be the first broadcast shirtless. Here's A-Rod. Outside 1-0.
That better work out more tonight.
You. A-Rod hit the home run yesterday, hitting .281 overall. Kenny, here at Yankee Stadium this year, A-Rod's hitting .331 with 9 homers and 32 runs batted in. So 32 of his 52 ribbies have come here in the Bronx.
Last night, every time that the Yankees go to Seattle, you know, A-Rod is booed unmercifully, but that was his 34th career home run against his former team, his first team, the Seattle Mariners. His days back in the Kingdom, 19 years old.
And he knew it, strike 3. So a strong first inning for Iwakuma as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We go to the second. It's 2-0 Seattle. Toyota is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Aside from the AL East, which of MLB's divisional races interest you the most and why? Very prying question. Joseph Mercurio, 7, said the NL Central, because the Pirates and the Cubs aren't going to go away easily for the Cardinals. A lot of these races are interesting.
Yeah, they all are.
AL West, NL East. I think it could be a fun finish.
Well, the Pirates had cut it to 3.5 in the NL Central. The Cubs are 9 games back.
But they lead one of the wild card spots.
Yeah, they do. They've got some exciting young players. It's going to be a team to watch over the next few years.
Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. One and one on Trumbo.
Trumbo didn't start last night, but he came up in the 9th inning, got a pinch hit single. The guy over his career has hit the Yankees pretty well. Back in his days with the Angels.
That's out to right. Garrett Jones puts it away for the first out. Here's Logan Morrison.
Morrison, you saw the numbers there, 12 homers. That's one more than he hit all of last season. So he too might be on his way to a 20 home run season. In a tough ballpark like Safeco Field, that's like hitting 25 or close to 30 for another team.
Now they moved the fences in just a bit, but it's still a big ballpark.
Well, not only that, we know how rains in Seattle, humidity is always in the air. Ball doesn't carry all that well. Remember when we first went there, Ken Griffey Jr. said, "Don't hit the ball to left center field. It's not going anywhere. Just get your feelings hurt." Of course, he had hit majority of his home runs for the Mariners at the Kingdome, which was maybe the most hitter-friendly ballpark in Major League Baseball in its day. Watching Pineda ease into this game and see how that slider begins to do the job for him. That's a fastball.
Fly ball, left field. That ball is going to be a foul ball.
Morrison going against the traffic. Everybody shifted around in the infield and even in the outfield. Wow, that was closer than I thought. That wasn't foul by much. And Rich Donnelly, the third base coach, is looking into the Mariners dugout like that was a fair ball. Former Pirate third base coach.
Chopped right side to Sheriff, flips to Pineda.
Now watch Pineda bounce off the mound there. He was there in plenty of time. For a big man, he moves pretty well, about 6'8". Here's the pitch. Pitcher's a top ball hit to the right side. You start over there, whether you're needed or not.
Here's Zunino. One and 0. Three infielders on the left side for Zunino.
He is 1 for his last 14. Had a base hit here last night. Yeah, a couple of just misses for the Mariners in this inning. First Morrison and now Zunino. That's third base umpire Quinn Walcott. Gave it a good look. Obviously foul. See, Michael, the third base umpire does have things to do during the course of the game.
Every now and then.
No, it was a few years ago. I mean, we've been doing this for a few years. It's the third base umpire. He's the one that's getting the day off.
For the most part, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally they'll have a tough call, but I think that that's the spot that you get the least to do.
Well, maybe it should be that way because the night before you work behind the plate.
That's right. That's why they do it that way. Kenny, you know me. I'm not critical about anything. So. Each his own.
Yeah, I've listened to your show on radio.
Live and let live. You want to be a third base ump? That's fine with me. Kenny, left side of the grandstand looks like the sun is winning the battle with the clouds. Right side, clouds are still ahead in rounds.
Split right down the middle, huh? Just right there. Sun, no sun.
Swing and a miss. Powered it by him. And a bounce back inning for Pineda. Seattle goes down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-0.
And it's time for this afternoon's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center. Montefiore inspired medicine. As I told you earlier on the pregame show, the plan for Carlos Beltran is to have him back tomorrow. Joe Girardi said that he is en route to New York. He's expected at the stadium today. They're going to have their physicians here take another look at him, but he reported no soreness in the oblique after his third rehab game last night in Tampa. So they're hoping to get him back tomorrow and put him on that active roster. Now, guys, that kind of asks the question, exactly how are they going to get him on that active roster? They're going to have some tough decisions to make as far as who stays and who goes.
It will be difficult, Meredith, because right now the bench pretty much consists of guys that have contributed this year. Now, Brendan Ryan's been on the DL a lot, but he's he was really their expected 25-man before he got hurt out of spring training. So you got Stephen Drew, Brendan Ryan, Chris Young, and John Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
And your bullpen, I think you want to keep it at 7 pitchers. They did make a bullpen move today, or after the game yesterday. Brian Mitchell sent down and replaced by Brandon Pinder. The reason they made that move was they want to keep Brian Mitchell stretched out. So if you keep him in the bullpen too long, then if you need him for a spot start, he's not able to do it. You know, Joe Girardi called Mitchell in and said, it's not because you did anything wrong. In fact, you did everything right, but we've got to keep you viable as a starter.
Well, that's what he had been doing at Scranton Wilkes-Barre to begin with, and then he moves to the Major League bullpen as a long man. But long men, you know, sometimes they have the role of the Maytag repairman. You don't get called very often.
Right.
So then you don't have a chance to be stretched out.
Now, as for Ref Snyder, I don't think they're sending him down, Kenny, because it looks like they're committed to giving him a run. And Joe already spoke today about having spoken to Stephen Drew. He said Drew's handled this better than anyone that I could have ever imagined, or anybody could have handled it better than this. So he told Drew, I want you to work out at third, short, second, and be able to play all those positions. They're giving Refsnyder a run, so I don't think he's the guy going down when Beltran comes up or comes off the DL. McCann skies one to left field, long run for Smith. He's there to make the play.
Well, Refsnyder earned his way up to the big leagues here. I mean, when you have an on-base percentage of .387, an OPS of .800, and you've hit 14 of your last 15 games, it's not like they just called him up to just say, well, you know, it's about time. No, it is about time that he gets a shot and sees what he can do. The Yankees looking for more production at second base.
Now, there are several ways they could go, Kenny. You know, Brendan Ryan is kind of a spare part here, but he's got a guaranteed deal. And this is the second year of a 2-year deal. You might say, you know what, we'll send Pinder down. We'll go with a shorter bullpen because Monday's a day off.
Yeah, but then you're just biding time. You got to go back. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're buying yourself time.
Watching Ian Akuma's windup, he's sort of like all arms and legs, and right at the very end, he snaps through and brings that ball up to the home plate. Brings the hands up.
There's a base hit for Chase Headley, first base runner for the Yankees.
Headley down with a 4-game hitting streak. He's kind of picking up the pace here, and also I've noticed lately he's picking up the pace defensively. Now he made a passel of errors early in the season, but lately he's been settled down in the field, and sometimes that translates to better hitting as well.
There's Garrett Jones. He pinch hit yesterday, getting a start today against the righty. In his pinch hit appearance in the 8th inning yesterday, he had a fly ball to center. One and one. 2-0 Mariners on Robinson Cano's 2-run home run to the left of dead center. Iwakuma last time out, as Kenny told you, on July 11th against the Angels, 8 scoreless innings. And he's trying to get on the board against them. Ground ball to where the shortstop should be, and that is it. Yankees do get a hit. They strand one. They go to the third, 2-0 Seattle. And photo, use hashtag #YesDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now we go to the third inning in the top of Seattle's order. Audi A3 scoreboard 2-0 Seattle. Brad Miller will start it off. The last play of the bottom of the second, 6-5 force. As Miller swings and misses.
I mentioned the fact that maybe seeing Canó settle into the game, and sometimes pitchers, they warm up in the bullpen, they feel all good about themselves, but it doesn't translate into the first inning of the ball game, and then all of a sudden it sort of kicks in. They always say about some of the good pitchers, the better pitchers, if you don't get them early, you're not going to get them. But the Mariners did get to Pineda in the first inning with the 2-run homer by Canó.
Strike three, Miller. Down looking. Strikeout number 2 for Pineda.
2 in a row. He struck out Zunino last out of last inning. This kind of hangs right around the corner. Good job by McCann. Holding it steady for Gary Cederstrom, the home plate umpire, to make the call. And it's good enough for him. That means Miller's headed back to the bench.
Seager reached on a fielder's choice in the first. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the shortstop, Gregorius. 2 outs.
That's where Schiff took away a hit.
That'll bring up Canó. Still not received warmly here at the stadium, where he was obviously once a favorite, but left as a free agent, spurned the Yankees' 7-year offer, and took a 10-year, $240 million offer from Seattle. I have heard stories, Kenny, that he's not really happy in Seattle. He's far away from the things that he loves. There's not a great Latin population there, but when he's asked about it publicly, he says that he loves it there. There's a base hit to left field.
He's loving it a little bit more. He's 2 for 2 today. Home run and a single now. Seattle's far away from everywhere.
Yep. Beautiful city,
yeah,
but it's a hike.
Every year the Mariners log more air miles than any other team. Well, the closest city, is San Francisco?
Yep.
Oakland. And that's about an hour and a half, 2-hour flight.
There's no Baltimore and Boston flights.
No, there's nothing like that. They say the best place to play is St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City, right in the middle of the country.
Here's Cruz. Swing and miss.
As far as travel is concerned. Talking about Cruz last night being a big free agent signing by the Mariners, leaving the Orioles after a 40 home run season, which led to Major League Baseball. And the Mariners got an immediate dividend. when Cruz is American League Player of the Month for April. Hit 10 home runs in April.
Fly ball right field. Jones makes the play. And do it. No runs hit, no errors, and one man left. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Seattle. Mariners, the first 18,000 guests 14 and younger receive a 2000 World Series Champions replica fan ring, courtesy of Betteridge Jewelers. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Wow. Now, I got to tell you what Kenny just said before he went on there. He said, is that a real ring or the one that they're giving away? This is the one they're giving. It is one of the most unbelievable giveaways I've ever seen. Last year they gave away, I think, the 98 ring, if I'm not mistaken. And now this is the 2000 ring. And Kenny, it's just, other than it says Betteridge on the side, not the player's name, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Well, I'll tell you, you walk around with that on your finger, you'll have the feel of a champion.
Grounded softly to short. One pitch, one out as Gregorius grounds out.
That's impressive.
I think I'm going to keep that one. Here's Rob Refsnyder. Audi A3 scoreboard, 2-0 Seattle. I was talking to Rob today in the Yankee clubhouse, and I said, his family's getting some TV time. And he said, yeah, it's so bad. I said, why? He said, my dad's growing a beard for the first time in his life, and he looks awful in it. He's on TV all the time. I said, you want us not to show him? He said, nah, keep showing him. Chopped right side. Canó will get Refsnyder for the second out.
So far, the Yankees have only had one man on base against Iwakuma. Now, we told you he's coming off his best start. He's kind of eased his way back in. You saw the high ERA. And after so much time on the DL, we mentioned that players who come back into the season, spending a lot of time, it's like trying to jump on a moving train. Everybody else is going full speed, and you're just coming aboard or trying to jump on board. So Iwakuma struggling his first couple of starts, but now maybe starting to get into it, getting up to speed. same sort of thing applies for Jacoby Ellsbury, who's 6 for 27 since coming off the DL. He missed quite a bit of time.
And the 1-2. Gets a piece. Since the beginning of June, the Yankees are 23-15. And I mention that because that's the best record in the American League during that time, and the Yankees have now built up the biggest division lead in baseball. They're 4.5 in front. Happy birthday wishes have to go out today to Hall of Famer Joe Torre, celebrating his 75th birthday. Happy birthday to number 6. Ellsbury steps out.
Another anniversary today. This David Cohn's perfect game. Our colleague David made Yankee history on this date.
That one is grabbed by Morrison, flips to Iwakuma, and they get Ellsbury for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. Okay, we played 3 at the stadium. It's 2-0 Seattle. Coors Light, we told you about how the Yankees have been the best team in the American League since the beginning of June. Now let's look at July. They're 8-3. They average 4.4 runs per game. Batting average of .243, which is not great. 15 home runs, an ERA of 3.09. Good for 8-3. Smith swings and misses. Well, we've got a couple of lookalikes. And we think Seth Smith on the right looks like Garrett Jones on the left.
Smith and Jones.
Smith pops it up. And Headley puts it away for the first out. So Pineda serves up the 2-run home run to Canó in the first and has settled down since then. Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 Seattle here in the top of the fourth. Pineda has 2 strikeouts today, has not walked a batter. Interesting stat. Coming into this game, Pineda struck out 170 batters while walking only 20 in his 30 career starts for the Yankees. That's an 8.5 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio. And I bring that up, and that's the highest for any pitcher during any span of 30 starts for the Yankees. Ever. So all the great pitchers the Yankees have had, they've never had a strikeout to walk ratio like that over a 30-game span.
The ability to pound the strike zone and make good pitches to strike that many people out as well. Of course, when Pineda was originally traded to the Yankees, it took him a while. I mean, shoulder surgery, shoulder problems again. You know, all the work he put in rehabbing and getting himself well enough to pitch at the major league level again. Talking to Joe Girardi about it, said he had time to fine-tune his mechanics, which means the ability to throw the ball over the plate time and time again. Full count. He didn't walk somebody.
Just as we said it.
Yeah. So Austin Jackson, one of the rare hitters that have walked against Michael Pineda this year.
Chop foul.
You know, when Trumbo first came to the major leagues with the Angels, he was a first baseman. But the problems for Trumbo staying in Anaheim was the fact that the Angels signed Albert Pujols to a big-time contract, and primarily he is a first baseman. So Trumbo became more and more expendable. I believe they first tried Trumbo at third base, then they put him in the outfield, both left and right. But they had other people who played better outfield defensively than Trumbo, and eventually he was dealt to Arizona.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Got him. A nice scoop there by Refsnyder to apply the tag on Jackson. 2 away.
Well, McCann, who's been throwing out runners quite regularly, attempting to steal, gets another one. But he had some help on the other end. Refsnyder with the scoop and the tag. We're going to see this on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Great scoop. Tag is there before the foot hits the bag. Good execution by the Yankee second baseman. Well executed. Excellent play. And I will tell you, he was out here today, and he and Joe Espino were out here for a good half hour, just working on picking up short hops. They did various drills. And the Yankees are going to try and, he's a hard worker to begin with, but the work doesn't stop once you make it to the big leagues. You got to continue to work hard.
You hear people say that it's harder to stay here than it is to get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no league higher than this one. And if you're not doing the job, they usually go out and find somebody else. They'd have run into another 3-2 count here.
Grounded to third. Stabbed by Headley. Nice stretch by Teixeira, and that will do it here in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Seattle. Yes is brought to you in part by TriStateGMC.com, by People's United Bank NA, checking that wins, expertise that wows, and by the Acura, it's that kind of summer event. Sun now winning the battle with the clouds, feeling a lot more like summer here at the stadium. Lincoln scoreboard shows Seattle up 2-0. Brett Gardner leads off the bottom of the fourth. 1-0. Gardner grounded to short. That was in the first.
So far, the Yankees only have one ball out of the infield. That was a fly ball by McCann to left field in the second inning. Iwakuma goes by the nickname Kuma, which is the Japanese word for bear. So he's known as the Bear by his teammates, coaches, manager.
High pop-up. Morrison in foul territory for the first out. Iwakuma was a teammate of Masahiro Tanaka at Rakuten. Were those turtlenecks there? Wow. Either that or they both had whiplash problems. That was unbelievable turtleneck action. Here's A-Rod, who struck out in the first inning.
A-Rod's home run last night. The difference, opposite field home run into the Yankee bullpen. He's hit 6 opposite field homers this year. When you're a true home run hitter, you can hit him out anywhere in the ballpark.
Gerard strikes out for the second time.
That time he got him with a changeup, and a good one.
Third strikeout. Two of them been Alex Rodriguez. You can see they not only change his speeds, but a little bit of dip at the end.
Mark Teixeira against Iwakuma. Teixeira struck out in the second. They're swinging over the top of that pitch.
It's another changeup. It started with a breaking ball, then a changeup. Now Iwakuma in the driver's seat. He's yet to show him a fastball.
Shift is on, as always. 3 infielders on the right side. Three and two.
Spot the fastball in on the hand, just above the waist. Maybe to get Teixeira to swing through one. Let's see what they go with here. He got ahead on the count with off-speed stuff. Does he go back to it? When you're up there hitting, a lot of things go through your mind, but you got to settle in on one pitch.
Line into right center field. It is a base hit. So Teixeira with a 2-out single here in the fourth.
He went back to the slow stuff, and Teixeira stayed back just enough. Get enough wood on this to drop it into the outfield for a base hit. That pitch was up a bit, and there's your base hit to keep the inning going.
Here's Brian McCann. Fly ball to left in the second. Strike. Last night, McCann with an RBI single in the fifth. Morrison hugging the line at first behind Teixeira. That one is driven deep to right center field. There it goes. See ya. Tie game. A 2-run home run for Brian McCann.
You know, it'd be interesting to see what this pitch was that McCann hit out of the ballpark. Now, if he's on the on-deck circle, watching the way Iwakuma worked Teixeira, it was all slow stuff early in the at-bat. He didn't really want to throw him a fastball for a strike. The first pitch was a breaking ball, and this, whatever it was kind of up. It wasn't the best pitch. And McCann got it. He knew it. Once again, another home run for McCann here at Yankee Stadium. It looked like it might have been another changeup that wasn't particularly well located. Here it is on Yesmo. You see Zunino reaching back towards the middle of the plate. That's always a bad sign that the pitch is not well located.
Quickly 0-2 on Headley.
Here's the pitch again. Iwakuma knew he wasn't getting that one back, and it's a tie ball game.
Well, not even curious to turn and look.
He knew where it was going.
But don't you want to see where it lands? Grounded to Canó. And that will do it. Well, if you're watching on Yes, unlike you, Akuma, you know exactly where that home run landed. And when it did, it was a 2-2 game as we go to the 5th. It's 4.5 back, as you mentioned. The Orioles have dropped to 5 back with another loss last night, and the Red Sox 7.5 back as they lost to the Angels in tough fashion at the end.
Well, the Blue Jays won the opening game of that series last night. If you look at the Rays and the Blue Jays, as Michael said, they're tied. If you're the Yankees, you don't want either one of those teams sweeping the series. Obviously, the Rays can't because they lost last night. So you want the Rays to win one of these next 2 games.
Bigelow T scoreboard is now 2-2 on McCann's 2-run home run. Grounded to second base from short right field. Ref Snyder. One away. We need more info from Bob Lorenz. We need more, Bob. An unbelievable story. That game was delayed 3 times before they finally called it because of power outages. Here's Mike Zunino. And the players were joking around. They tried to find out the last person that used Nationals Park. And it was Taylor Swift, who had a big concert there.
Oh, I was going to say, was she pitching or playing with the outfield?
She had a big concert there. And, you know, my advice to Nationals Park is you got to shake it off and, you know, get the electricity working.
You know, after they suspended the game, supposedly they got the problem fixed. They fixed it. It was a faulty circuit or something. They left the lights on all night long just to make it. The rest of the night, they left them on to make sure it worked.
Well, so the electric company's very happy now.
Those are 2 division leaders going at it.
So Zunino now has worked the count full. The number 9 batter in the lineup, hitting 161. High fly ball, shallow center. Ellsbury. The second out. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.tv Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
You know when that's great when you've done a game here on the East Coast, you go back, you can't fall asleep. You sit and watch a West Coast game.
That's right.
Yeah, do a little scouting. You know, team you're going to play in a couple of weeks. See what's going on. Thing I learned about the Mariners watching them late at night, they were thinking of benching Brad Miller because he wasn't hitting very well, but lately he's been swinging the bat better, so they left him in there. He's 1 for 2 today,
and now he's 1 for 3. So Pineda works a 1-2-3 inning. We are halfway through here at the stadium. Yankees 2, Mariners 2. By Ford, the official SUV of the New York Yankees. Now we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Garrett Jones will lead it off against Iwakuma. 2-2 game. Bottom third of the Yankee order, and there's a strike.
Garrett Jones had a big hit on the West Coast against the Mariners.
Chopped over the mound. Let's see if the play can be made. Yes, it is.
And Seager.
That's a 5-3.
Saying Jones hit the pinch hit 3-run home run and won a June 2nd at Safeco Field. Big hit that particular night against the Mariners.
Here's Gregorius, grounded to short. That was in the 3rd. Ground ball to Canó. 2 away here in the 5th. And that'll bring up Ref Snyder.
Look at Iwakuma's start since he's come off the disabled list. They're all against winning teams. The Angels twice, Detroit, Houston, and the Dodgers. So he's not had easy picking since coming off the DL. Now he gets the Yankees today.
Fly ball down the right field line, but slicing foul.
And one thing we learned about Ref Snyder in spring training, hits the ball well to the opposite field. If you leave something in the middle plate in and he puts his best swing on it, he can reach the seats like he did at Fenway Park. Hit one over the Green Monster. Like he was trying to reach the upper deck with that swing.
Get cheated.
No, he didn't. It's he must have saw this pitch fairly well. Almost screwed himself into the ground. It looked like a Reggie Jackson swing from years ago.
That's his mom, Jane, who seems to be charting every single pitch.
Tell you what, no matter what happens in this at bat, he's had a representative at bat. Just fouled off some tough pitches, made Iwakuma work. I think one of the keys to being a good hitter is just being a tough out. They might get you, but you got to make the pitcher work one way or the other.
1-2. Well, Kenny, I would pay to see Jane sit next to Leiter, because Leiter charts every pitch too. I mean, they would break down every single approach to every hitter.
Well, you know that they could reference each other.
Yeah.
What do you think
for that one?
Yeah. What'd you think?
Is that a splitter or a straight change?
Yeah, exactly. This is the 8th pitch coming. We're going to get a 9th.
James tracked every one of them. When they were adopting Rob, there was an earthquake in the building in California, and she ran back in to the earthquake shaking building so that she could get the papers for the adoption that she had left up there. The papers that allowed them to adopt Rob Resnick. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. So Iwakuma wins that battle as the Yankees go down in order. We're going to the 6th. It's a 2-2 game on Yes. 4 goals in his last 2 matches. MLS All-Star David Villa leads NYC FC into battle with the New England Revolution. Watch New York City FC presented by Etihad Airways tonight at 7:30 right here on Yes. I would go to the 6th inning. Kyle Seager will lead off against Michael Pineda. Three infielders on the right side for Seager. And he checks his swing. And past a diving Teixeira and Ref Snyder. He finds the hole in the zone and gets a single to lead off the 6th. And that'll bring up Robinson Cano, who's 2 for 2 against Pineda today. Obviously, Robinson, first 9 seasons with the Yankees, his number's .309. He had 204 home runs, 7 seasons with 40 or more doubles. He won the championship in 2009, 5-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winner. And 2 for 2, as we mentioned, against Pineda. So Seager held on by Teixeira. Canó jumps on the first pitch and grounds it foul.
Yeah, I think the sun has finally won out, Michael.
Yes, it has.
And it's a bright, sunny day.
Seattle with 5 hits, Yankees 3. That one is driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Big day for Robinson Cano. That's his second 2-run home run, and Seattle takes a 4-2 lead.
Well, we told you he's been getting the heat up. I talked to him yesterday. He said the first part of the season, hit in a lot of bad luck, hit the ball hard, but had nothing to show for it. But lately this month, they're starting to drop in and starting to leave the park as well. 6 home runs now in his last 21 games. And that pitch was right there for him on the inner half. He touched it off, and the Mariners have 2 more runs.
Quickly and came back quickly as a Yankee fan caught it.
No, thank you.
So 2 home runs yesterday for Seager, 2 home runs today for Canó.
First time he's hit 2 home runs in a game as a Mariner. And the last time he did it was 2013 in Minnesota for the Yankees.
3-1 on Cruz. Missed outside as Cruz walks, and McCann will go out and talk with Pineda, and so will Larry Rothschild. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
As Larry Rothschild's out to the mound, he might take a gander out of the Yankee bullpen. It might be starting to get busy. As Pineda's getting up a single, a home run, and a walk here in the 6th.
Adam Warren is up. So Michael Pineda just wandering around on the backside of the mound. Body language not great right now.
He said the slider's the key, and he hasn't had much of a slider today, not that I've seen.
Smith takes upstairs 1-0. You know, Kenny, you wonder, he has a day like this, that in his quiet time, Canó comes to the realization that this ballpark is tailor-made for his swing.
And that's a very good point. I mean, he's gone to the furthest reaches out there at center, but the right field, we know for left-handed hitters, that short porch, even in the old days across the street, made a lot of left-handed hitters a lot of money. And in a way, it made Canó a lot of money, but just not with the Yankees.
Yep. Could not hold up. 2-2.
You know, you look at Canó, and I think back to when he first came up to the Yankees, and he used to bat ninth.
Yep.
Remember Jimmy Leland said it was Murderer's Row and Robinson Cano, and now you have Rev Snyder out in second, batting ninth, and you wonder if the same thing could be working its way around again.
Soft ground ball to Teixeira. He flips to Pineda as Cruz moves to second, 1 away.
Cano developed not only from a ninth place hitter into a middle of the order hitter, and one of the better hitters in the game. And you got Rev Snyder, who good minor league credentials, batting ninth for the Yankees. Can he develop into the same sort of player? Time will tell.
There's Austin Jackson. 4-2 Seattle. We're in the top of the 6th inning. All the runs coming via the home run. 2 two-run home runs by Canó and a 2-run blast by McCann.
Now there is a major difference between the two. Canó came up and he was a very good second baseman almost right from the start. Rev Snyder was an outfielder converted to a second baseman and learning the position. Usually when there's a conversion, it's infield to outfield. It's more difficult to go the other way.
I remember Joe Torre used to say that I don't mind changing a guy as he moves farther from the plate. Yeah. He said because the ball gets to you later. He said the transition that's tough is when they come closer.
Yeah. Ball gets on you quicker.
Velocity good for Pineda today, 94-95.
But his slider to me has just not been there. His fastball, you know, it's still pretty good. He's up there, as Michael said. His Slider's his swing and miss pitch, and it just hasn't been there today.
Right back to Pineda. Looked at third and fires to first as Cruz moves to third.
Yeah, Cruz got a good read on this one. Off the plate, realized it's going to take a while for it to come down. Pineda looks, no chance over there. Get the sure out at first as Cruz will move over to third with 2 down.
So here's Mark Trumbo with a runner at third and 2 outs. We're in the 6th. Now with the All-Star break, Pineda had not pitched in 8 days. The Yankees did that by design with a lot of the pitchers. Chance to give them the extra rest. Last time Pineda pitched was Friday in Boston, July 10th. Today's July 18th.
But if I'm not mistaken, the last time it was designed for him to have extra rest, and he came back and didn't pitch that well.
No.
Was that Baltimore?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but he came back and didn't have a good start, but then the next couple, he was right on the money again.
The one that he did not pitch well was against Philly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
3 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs. He wasn't that great against Baltimore either, Kenny. And then he had 11 days then, 4 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs.
See, but the Yankees are trying to manage his innings. They're looking at the big picture here. They want him to be pitching in September and hopefully into October.
Swinging on 3-0. And he swings through the fastball. And the 3-1 swing and a miss.
That was one of his better off-speed pitches today. Had Trumbo way out in front. So Pineda trying to fight back in this count. Just enough of a slide to get the swing and a miss.
No, it's obvious, Kenny, that he does not pitch as well with the long rest, but it becomes a catch-22. If they keep running him out there every 5 days, he's going to hit a pitch or an innings limit that will render him useless at the end of the year. He can't get over 200 innings this year.
Yeah.
Just hasn't got to that point.
And he only threw, what, 70-something last year?
That's too big a jump. So I think that they'll take. Now he's not performing poorly today. Giving up a pair of home runs to Canó, but the other games that we spoke about, Philadelphia and Baltimore, he didn't really pitch that well. And Baltimore was the long rest where they skipped him once. And I think they'll take those subpar outings just so he doesn't get to 220 innings.
And another point, I think it makes it even more paramount for the Yankees to increase their lead in the division. So if they're going to give him a break, it's not going to break them so much. You understand what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Four-and-a-half game lead coming into today's action for Joe Girardi in the Eastern Division.
Grounded, foul. And they also have to think along the lines of, we have to have him available for the postseason if we get there. you don't want to lose. You could look at Tanaka and Pineda as 1 and 1A. I mean, you could list them whichever way you want, but they're both paramount to their success. They need top flight starters. Well, he's at 102 pitches now as Trumbo making him work. Whichever way this at bat turns out, I believe it's his final.
Yeah. Whether he gets the inning over with or if he doesn't, Adam Warren is all ready to go. He's just standing around in the bullpen. He's warmed up.
3-2. Still 3-2. And the pitch. Again fouled it back. So not able to put away Trumbo. Already 10 pitches into this at bat. Fly ball, left center. Ellsbury's there to put it away, and that'll do it. But not before the Mariners take the lead. In fact, the 4 runs all off the bat of Canó. There's a 2-run home run in the first inning. This inning, another 2-run blast to make it 4-2. It was 16 years ago today that David Cone achieved baseball immortality. On Yogi Berra Day at the stadium, he threw 88 pitches, threw the Yankees' third perfect game, joining Don Larson and his buddy David Wells as the only Yankee pitchers to achieve perfection. David Cone, congratulations. 16 years have flown by.
They certainly have.
And those were the thrilling moments of the game, brought to you by Pepsi. Joe Girardi caught that game. Here's Ellsbury. Shows bunt, takes high. That was some day. There was a rain delay in the middle of the game, a very short one. And David tells the story how he was warming up under the stands with the bat boy Luigi, who had the nickname Squeegee. Ground ball right side and through for a base hit past the diving Canó. And since it was Yogi Berra Day, they had number 8 painted behind home plate. And eerily, his final pitch count was 88 pitches to throw the perfect game against the Expos.
The planets were aligned just right.
All right, so the leadoff man is on against Iwakuma as Ellsbury breaks an 0 for 11 slide. Here's Brett Gardner. He's 0 for 2 today and has a 7-game hitting streak.
Look at the defensive setup in the outfield for Gardner. The outfielders are playing him to pull. Austin Jackson a little bit towards right center. There's a lot of room. If he runs something up the gap in left center, it's going to be a 3-base hit with ease. And we've seen Gardner hit the ball that way with authority.
Now, we told you this yesterday. The Mariner bullpen not a strength of this team. Once the Yankees got into it yesterday, that was the home run by A-Rod off of Beimel. Last year it had the best ERA in baseball, the Mariners bullpen. Now it's 10th in the American League. But at this point, you could see Iwakuma's pitch counts in pretty good shape. 69 here in the 6th. That one is looped into left field. It is a base hit. 8-game hitting streak for Gardner and a rally for the Yankees. First and second. Nobody out. A-Rod coming up.
Yeah, he hit it in the right direction, but he didn't really scorch it to get it into the gap. But still, you'll take a bloop single. It's a line drive in the paper the next day, or when people look online at the box score, it's still a hit. And the Yankees have the tying runs on base here. You see Miller gives up on it right away. Then it's going to be Seth Smith who runs it down. And we're going to get Lloyd McClendon, the manager, coming out to the mound along with a translator. And there's nobody warming up, so they must be checking on something physically with Iwakuma to see if he's okay. Remember, he's coming off the DL. He's had 5 starts, so he should be okay today.
Well, they are trying to get somebody up in the bullpen right now. Looks like there is some action out there. Left-handers up.
Phone not working?
So Joe Beimel, one of 3 left-handers. He served up the A-Rod home run yesterday.
He's also the one who gave the home run to Garrett Jones in Seattle.
Yankees down 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Crowd starting to come to life here at the stadium.
A-Rod has struck out twice. There's a strike.
Table setters are on, and then if you look at Robbie Canó trying to hold Ellsbury close, it opens up the right side a bit. First 2 pitches have been in on A-Rod, so that's not the type of pitch you can hit the other way. I'm looking at Seager at third base. He's playing fairly deep, and what happens then, if you have a great base stealer on like Ellsbury is, he knows that third baseman's deep and it's going to be a race for the bag. And then the catcher Sedino probably is going to have to hit a moving target. But with the Yankees, if the Yankees are ahead 4-2, I think there'd be more opportunity for him to steal, or at least try the double steal. But with the Yankees down 4-2, I think they're going to let A-Rod and Teixeira do their thing. When you're ahead, you can take more chances on the bases.
And the 1-2. Boy, A-Rod has really struggled against Iwakuma. 3 strikeouts for Alex.
Yeah, he's had him off balance all day long. Iwakuma now with 5 strikeouts. 3 times it's been Alex Rodriguez. There's a splitter grip. It's not that it dropped precipitously. It's just that, yeah, it kind of went down a bit. He swings right through it.
So another conference with Iwakuma. First and second, now 1 out. And here's Teixeira. He struck out in the second. Single to right center field. In the fourth with 2 outs. And that allowed Brian McCann to connect for his 2-run home run. That tied the game at 2. Canó's second 2-run home run in the top of this inning has given Seattle a 4-2 lead. One and 0. And the pitch. Grounded and grabbed there by Morrison. Fires the second one. On to first. He does not make the throw. So a nice play by Morrison. Taking what looked like a ground ball ticketed to right field away from Teixeira.
He did hit it on the nose. But Morrison's going to get the lead runner. Miller was wise to hold on to this. He was going to have to hit Iwakuma, who was coming over to the cover, as opposed to maybe throwing the ball away and having Ellsbury score. Morrison very smooth over there at first base.
Well, that is going to do it for Iwakuma. So with McCann due up and just 76 pitches, Lloyd McClendon is going to go to the bullpen. He's going to make the Verizon call to the bullpen. Iwakuma is done. Beimel coming in. It'll be Beimel against McCann with 2 outs and 2 on. Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. We get a chance to see the king. Felix Hernandez goes for the Seattle Mariners tomorrow, 11-5, 2.84, and CC Sabathia for the Yanks, 4-8, 5.47. Our coverage will begin at 12:30 p.m. on Yes, and tomorrow's game will be televised on Pix 11. So first pitch should be right around 1:07. Should be a good one. Yankees are hoping it's not the rubber game. So Iwakuma lifted after 76 pitches, and he served up a 2-run home run to McCann, and they didn't want to take that chance again. So they bring in the lefty Joe Beimel. So first and third with 2 outs.
Lloyd McClendon aware of the fact that McCann's just 1 for 7 against Beimel. He's going with the numbers here. Beimel was the loser last night. Gave up the home run to Alex Rodriguez.
That one is driven out into right center. Austin Jackson runs it down for the final out of the 6th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So Iwakuma, the pitcher of record, on the winning side as we go to the 7th. There's plenty of baseball to go. It's 4-2 Seattle. Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #DataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Jeff Wolford tweets us that picture of a cutie. Tipping the cap as well. That is a Data Strong fan. Great shot. 4-2 Seattle. New pitcher for the Yankees, it's Chasen Shreve. Well, the move worked out because Beimel did get McCann, but Iwakuma last time pitched an 8-inning shutout against the Angels through 101 pitches, and you took him out after 76, what was it, 76 pitches? Wow. But I believe that Lloyd McClendon now is managing as every game is a must-win. He's got to turn this around to save his job and to save the Mariners' season.
Well, first of all, before they're going anywhere, they got to get to 500. They're 8 games under. So they've got quite a hole to dig themselves out of in the second half of the season. But going back to the beginning of the season, Mariners were one of the teams they thought was going to make some noise in the West.
Ground ball to Ref Snyder. On the way. There's Mike Zunino.
Jason Shreve has become very effective for George Wright. Nice lefty tandem with he and Justin Wilson. Off speed, but it's that split change that he throws. Nino well out in front. You can see a good differential in the speed. 83 on one, 93 on the next.
So 3-1 on Zunino as Mark Lowe warming. Zunino 4 for his last 27. He's 0 for 2 today. High pop up to Shera, calls everybody off, makes a very difficult play. The guys on the left side of the infield were saying, why is he screaming, I've got it? He's on the right side. He had to go over the mound, down the side, and came up with it for the second out.
And here's what Michael's talking about. Had to navigate the mound. It's always a difficult thing when you're looking up and watching the baseball. Watch him cross over the back, stayed with it, and make the play. Chase Headley standing right there. So is Gregorius. The results. Out number 2.
Brad Miller takes outside 1-0.
Play kind of reminds me of I think we were working a game in Seattle a few years ago, Michael, and it was a pop up to the left side of the infield, and it was almost directly at third base, and Jeter called off Jerry Hairston Jr. and caught it almost standing at third base, and Hairston looked at him and it was almost like he was going to cry, like, you didn't trust me to catch it. Jeter had that wry smile on his face.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brad Miller's 1 for 3 today. Shreve deals. Swing and a miss. So a 1-2-3 inning for Chasen Shreve and the Yankees at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time to get up and stretch here at the stadium. Mariners lead the Yankees 4-2, but we're going to stay right where we are to honor America here in the Bronx.
Rise and remove your caps. And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Navy Lieutenant Joe Becker from Putnam Lake, New York, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate and welcome Technical Sergeant Aaron Page from the United States Air Force Band in Washington, D.C. He will now sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
They have to get 9 outs out of that bullpen. We'll take a look at the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 4-6-0 for Seattle, 2-5-0 for the Yankees. They mentioned the two-run home runs by the former Yankee. Brian McCann with a 2-run home run, the Yankee runs. And Iwakuma lasted 5 2/3, 5 hit, 2 runs. Didn't walk about it and struck out 5. So we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And a new pitcher is Mark Lowe. And he will face Chase Headley. Don't quite understand this move either. You got a lefty in Beimel. You got a switch hitter in Headley. Now, why would you turn around to the shorter side? Then you got a lefty Jones and lefty Gregorius, and you go to Lowe.
Yeah, look at Lowe's numbers, though. They would tell you he's having a pretty good year. I watched him pitch about a week or so ago. I was watching a Seattle game. This guy had one of the nastiest sliders I've seen all year long. You see the strikeout numbers, 37 in 28 innings. And he threw Headley a nasty slider on the first pitch. I was really impressed by Mark Lowe. He's having a very good year. Last year he pitched for the Rays and Cleveland. And Seattle signed him as a minor league free agent with an invite to spring training. Years ago, Lowe was with Seattle. He's got good stuff. Having a very good year.
That one is driven into left center, and Austin Jackson got a great jump to run it down for the first out. Let's go back to the studio and Bob Lorenz with more.
Sounds like the roof is open up at Rogers Center. Ball's flying.
Here's Garrett Jones. If you look at the struggles that the Mariner bullpen has had with the high ERA and the blown saves, you wonder why Lowe wouldn't be used in a more high leverage inning like the 8th rather than here in the 7th when you were matched up with the lefty the way you wanted. We'll see if it works out for them because they don't have a lockdown closer. Fernando Rodney has been really, really shaky, and they've used Carson Smith as well to close games.
Yeah, not this year. He hasn't been as advertised in the past, one of the better closers in the league.
And he strikes out Garrett Jones. More from Bob Lorenz back in the studio. Must have been a very late night for the band. They did not start playing. That's why Bob had to hesitate there. But he finally got that highlight in. And D.D. Gregorius rips one down the right field line. And that'll go into the corner. Gregorius will pick himself up a double.
They might have had another gig after last night's postgame show.
You think so?
Yeah. Late night gig for the Yes Band. Well, right there, Gregorius just rips it into the corner. Nelson Cruz, he's going to wait on it to come to him. It's going to be a double anyway. And Gregorius at second base.
So the Yankees have Ref Snyder coming up. Shows you the commitment to Ref Snyder. You do have Stephen Drew with his home runs on the bench. But they stay with Ref Snyder against the righty, who throws a strike. Ref Snyder's 0 for 2. Grounded to Logan Morrison. He steps on the bag, and that will do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We're going to the 8th. 4-2 Mariners. Majority shows the skipper reveals how he spent the All-Star break and recaps his weekend set with the Mariners. It's all tomorrow at 4:30. only on Yes. Hyundai scoreboard shows Seattle up 4-2. And Kyle Seager will lead it off against Chasen Shreve. And a strike to Seager.
The Yankee bullpen is busy. It looks like Adam Warren again. So it appears Joe Girardi might be matching up here. 2 left-handed hitters and then Nelson Cruz.
Adam Warren up again.
Shreve well out in front. Let's see if he tries to get. Well, he should be trying to get Seager to strike himself out. Swinging something down and away. Moving away from him. Going out of the strike zone. He's got a couple of pitches to play with here. Just showing a fastball in. But I think where he really wants to get him is down and away. There's another former Yankee.
Down Nuno. Popped up left side. Gregorius makes the play. Well, the Yankees will get another opportunity to try to deal with Canó. 3 for 3 against Pineda. A couple of 2-run home runs. Yesterday they held him down 0 for 4. Told you yesterday about the struggles he's been having with his stomach. Started last year in August. Didn't have it taken care of until after the season because the team was in a pennant race. Found out they had a parasite, easily dealt with antibiotics, but since then has been dealing with acid reflux, which has curtailed his eating. He always feels weak and sluggish. Also in March, his grandfather on his dad's side died of lung cancer. One of his biggest fans. Always used to chart every single at bat. Would see when something was going wrong and call the grandson up, but it's not available to him anymore. Granddad kept journals. But he's kind of having a throwback Saturday here at the stadium where he looks like Robinson Cano.
Yeah, but there's really no support like family support when you're a baseball player. I mean, because you're away from home. You know, when you're a youngster, you go off to play minor league ball, and that's always your safe haven. Call home, see how everybody's doing, even when you're not playing well. My dad used to say, you only call when you're hitting well. Yeah, well, I didn't want to pass along bad news to my folks. Yeah, I'm home for my last 15.
Now we think it's so normal to see every pitch of every game that we want to see.
Yeah, that's true.
You could be anywhere in the world and watch any team you want at any time with the MLB app.
Yeah, I mean, we're watching Rob Rev Snyder's mom here today, and she's keeping chart every pitch, you know. So, like I said, family support.
So Cano's working count to 3-2 against Shreve. And he grounds it to Teixeira. And Shreve beats Canó to the bag. Still has fans here in New York.
Some of the Yankee fans are cheering that they finally got him out.
Well, Shreve gets the job done against the two lefties. Girardi is going to call on Adam Warren to come in and get Nelson Cruz. So good job by Shreve. He faced 5, he retired 5, and the Yankees go to the pen here in the 8th. Then after the series finale on Pix 11, come back for Yankees extra innings. Then Tuesday, Yankees open up a series at the division rival Orioles with the pregame beginning at 6:30 on Yes, and the game on Pix 11. Yes's next game will be on Wednesday night against the O's. So back-to-back Pix 11s. See Warren's numbers now settling into his role in the bullpen after making 14 starts and pitching very well in the rotation. Cruz 1 for 2 with a walk today. The Mariners all-star.
Good job once again by Chase and Shreve. Did not allow ball out of the infield. A couple of pop-ups, a couple of ground outs, and a strikeout.
Popped up. McCann gives it a look, but makes the seats.
Mariners have won 41 games coming into today, and Cruz has 12 game-winning runs batted in.
Right in on the hands.
And it's just what you want from a cleanup hitter. Somebody who gets the job done in the clutch late in ball games.
Two and two. Bottom of the 8th inning for the Yankees. It'll be the top of the order. Ellsbury, Gardner, and A-Rod. Missed outside. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Working out of the pen. Warren's velocity goes up a tick, maybe even more than a tick. McCann could not hold on to the foul ball. Cruz walks. So a 2-out walk. Second walk issued to Cruz tonight. And that brings up Seth Smith. Strike to Smith.
Warren, of course, has that variety of pitches he can go to. Fastball, slider, curve, and a change. He has the repertoire of a starting pitcher that he had been. That was the change. Just missed outside.
There's a strike.
It was more like the curve.
Cruz leads off first. 2 outs. The 1-2. 2-2. Top of the 9th inning, Tampa Bay 3, Toronto 2. Kansas City leading the White Sox 3-0, bottom of the 3rd. They're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the White Sox 2005 World Championship at U.S. Cellular Field today. And former Yankee El Duque was part of the ceremony. He was part of that team. And everything else is at night. The well, I guess the second part of the let's play a game and a half today. Washington beat the Dodgers 6-3, so they'll start that game shortly.
How's that work out for the fans who?
I don't know.
Yeah, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fans who were at the game that was suspended. Did they get a chance to come back and see the rest of that game?
I guess they would, and I guess you'd also have to make another ticket available in case they couldn't come back, because they didn't even come close to seeing the real game. So Cruz will go. The 3-2. Spoiled, hit the other way. Grounded to Ref Snyder. And that'll do it. So the Mariners leave one on here at the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees are down by 2. Later today on Yes, get the inside story of David Cohn's magical 1999 perfect game on Yankeeography Moments of Glory, featuring interviews with his teammates and coaches. That's today after the postgame, and it's only on Yes. Kenny, we researched it. The fans that had tickets to last night's game could not come into today's game because the regularly scheduled game was sold out. So they would not have seen the end of the game that they went to see. But they're allowed to trade in their ticket for any ticket for the remainder of the 2015 season.
Subject to availability.
Or you could sit on someone's lap if that's what you feel like doing. New pitcher for Seattle's former Yankee, Vidal Nuno. And he's going to face Ellsbury, Gardner, and A-Rod. Yankees down by 2. Popped up. Seager battles the sun, angles his body, can't make the play. He knew he was in trouble right from the start.
Yeah, even with the sunglasses on. And I think something else comes into play here too. You could see he felt as though he was getting close to the wall and kind of slows down and reaches out as if he's reaching over the fence itself. And he still had a few more steps to go. That's not being familiar with a foreign ballpark or not your own ballpark. And yeah, he had a few more steps to go, to say the least. And he can't quite come up with it.
Hyundai scoreboard 4-2 Seattle. That one is driven out to left center, but right there is Smith, and he makes the play for the first out. So Gardner is 1 for 3 today. One and 0.
Mariners bullpen is busy again. That's the closer.
Count 2-1.
Get one of these table setters on base. Bring the tying run to the plate.
2-2. A-Rod is on deck.
Makes you wonder if Rodney's out there throwing, if Gardner gets on, does Lloyd McClendon go to Rodney with A-Rod coming to the plate, not wanting him to face a lefty? But the numbers kind of suggest.
That's why, Kenny, it didn't make sense using Lowe in the 7th. I mean, Lowe should be in the 8th.
As I'm looking at A-Rod's numbers here, he has actually hit better against right-handed pitching this year.
Two, 3-2. Gardner not enamored. 2 away.
First of all, he foul tipped, and Zunino held on to it. Yep, right into the glove, right into the middle of the glove.
And he was so ticked off that he held on to it. So it looks like McClendon hasn't signaled yet, but now he takes the ball from Nuno, and he is going to get Fernando Rodney coming on with A-Rod due up. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Mariners.
To an all-new WB Mason postgame show immediately following the game. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are standing by in the studio. They'll break down this afternoon's game. They'll look at Michael Pineda's performance. Also, they'll examine why the offense couldn't do too much against Iwakuma. And they'll take you around the league. They'll have highlights of Jays and Rays, plus much more. I'll be in the clubhouse talking to the guys after this one on an all-new edition of WB Mason postgame show.
Thank you, Meredith. We look forward to that. Right before the All-Star break, Rodney had essentially lost his closer's job to Carson Smith. So this is not an inning and a third situation here. They're probably going to let Carson Smith pitch the 9th inning. I'm sure that what they pay Rodney, they'd like to see him get that job back. But Smith has done a very, very good job. You saw that Rodney blew 4 saves before he essentially lost the job. And now he's in there to face Alex here in the 8th.
Yeah, you can also see most of the closers, they have less than a hit per inning, and certainly their walk totals are down. But Rodney, about a walk every 2 innings. And when you're trying to close ball games, you're trying to keep people off base. He's always had about a mid-90s fastball, an excellent changeup. There's the changeup. He's just not having a good afternoon. He's already got
no contact afternoon.
Yeah, he's already got the hat trick.
Well, it's over in Toronto as Tampa Bay beats the Blue Jays 3-2.
Like I said, that's a good thing. They have split the first 2, so nobody's going to sweep that series. Rays, I should say, the Jays won't do that.
Well, if Rodney doesn't close, it makes a lot of people happy who do not like the arrow being shot into the sky. I don't think he's going to do that ending the 8th inning.
The way he was pitching this year was making Mariners fans quiver.
That's what you did there. 97 miles an hour with that fastball. Soft ground ball to second. Canó gets A-Rod, and the Yankees go down in order here in the 8th against 2 Seattle relievers. Let's take this to the 9th inning. Seattle 4, the Yankees 2. pitches of the game.
Robinson Canó back in the first inning, a 2-run shot. Then Canó again, another 2-run home run, both off Michael Pineda. That represents all the run scoring for the Mariners today.
Austin Jackson leads off against Adam Warren and takes a strike as we start the ninth. (4-2) Seattle.
Michael, you had mentioned that since Warren has gone to the bullpen, his fastball has been elevated in speed, and that's true. It's about 1 mile per hour faster on average. So you can let it go a little bit more in an inning or maybe 2 that he's in the ball game.
Like that, but that wasn't a fastball. He got it right by him, though.
Then the slider. Whatever it was, it got the job done. We can get another look.
It was a hanger, too.
Yeah, it wasn't the best that he's ever thrown, but it got the desired result.
That's going to bring up Trumbo. When you throw your fastball harder, even if you hang the slider, sometimes the change of speed is going to get you, and that's exactly what happened there. Ooh. That's a better slider.
Trumbo missed that ball a lot.
The 0-1. 1-1. The new closer, Carson Smith. Count 1-2 on Trumbo. 0 for 3 today. There's a ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Chris Taylor's going to pinch run for Trumbo. So Taylor's on first. Logan Morrison, who's 0 for 3, is at the plate.
Taylor pinch running usually means you got decent speed, but he's even in the stolen base department. He's stolen 2, been caught twice. Also wears his socks old school style.
Three infielders on the right side for Morrison.
All 3 times he's hit the ball that way. 2 assists for Rev Snyder, 1 for Teixeira. Outfield straight away, midfield plays him pull. One thing with Warren coming out of the bullpen now, while he's warming up, he can figure out, what's working the best outside of his fastball and maybe stay with that pitch. You only need a couple of pitches working out of the pen as opposed to 3 or 4 as a starter.
Runner goes. The ball fouled off.
Anytime you got a guy wearing helmet over at first, you know he's got decent speed.
Or he's a heck of a cook.
Yeah. He wears his on his right hand. Gardner wears his on the left hand, and that tells you which hand, when they're diving headlong, which hand they're going to reach the base, reach for. And look, if you can make those things, extend them even more,
it's an advantage.
Yeah, isn't it?
Gets you there a nanosecond before. His is a little different than Gardner's because his thumb is out. Yeah. Gardner's isn't. His whole hand is in there.
You got to reach in that up with your whole hand, don't you?
I would keep extending it out until they say, okay, that's enough.
until
it looks like a Cessna.
The rules committee gets involved.
Yep. 2-2. Strike 3. Morrison down looking. Earlier today, Military Appreciation Day here at the stadium. And the gold team of the Army Golden Knights parachuted into the stadium. They did a great job. And you see Hal Steinbrenner and his wife. Part of a really a great day here at the stadium where you pay tribute to the men and the women that make our country what it is. So thank you to them.
Now, one of the parachuters that came in, when they were introducing them to the fans here, they were also announcing the number of jumps or attempts they had.
Right.
One guy jumped out over 8,000 times.
Wow.
And another one of the parachuters or military men 14,000 times.
Runner goes and fouled away.
Now we fly a lot. I don't think I've been in an airplane 14,000 times, but we do fly quite often. But not only, but I'm not going up there to jump out.
And they're jumping to a spot too. They all landed in shallow center field, right to that spot, dropping out of the sky and
precision.
Yep.
It's very impressive.
Hal Steinbrenner and his wife Christina are really active in raising funds for the military down in Tampa and up here in New York as well. So great job by them. Pitch outside, the throw to second, and a stolen base for Taylor.
So stolen base number 3 for Taylor. Dust off that oven mitt.
Well, before that, McCann had thrown out 41.7% of base stealers or attempted base stealers, and that's second Among 19 qualified catchers, the only one who had a better percentage was Yadier Molina at 44.1%. And in case you're wondering, the Major League average since 2003 is 30.3%. So if you're at 41.7, you're giving your team an advantage other teams don't have.
Yeah, and also that tells you that the pitchers are doing a decent job of holding runners close to give the catchers a chance to make those good throws.
And Brian's given a lot of credit to Gary Tuck, who does such a great job with the catchers. He's the bullpen coach, but works with the catchers, and he's considered one of the best in the game at that. The 2-2. 3-2. There's Gary Tuck. Three-two pitch. Zunino with a fly ball to right field. Garrett Jones puts it away, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. Precision work before the game. Well, the Yanks have precision work in the bottom of the ninth. At Carson Smith, the man who has supplanted Fernando Rodney as the closer. And Smith's numbers are pretty impressive. And he will face 4, 5, and 6 in the Yankee order. 47 strikeouts in 36 and a third innings, 22 hits and 6 walks, so 28 base runners in 36 and a third innings. Not too bad, and he is nailed down 6 of 7 save opportunities.
Yeah, you go back to the 2011 draft, and the Mariners picked Carson Smith in the 8th round. And coming up in their system 2 years ago, he was the minor league relief pitcher of the year, the Mariners minor league relief pitcher of the year. They pitched briefly for Seattle last year. 9 games, didn't allow a run. So with Fernando Rodney being a free agent at the end of the year and struggling somewhat, they've gone to Mr. Smith. Comes to Seattle.
25 years old. He's from Dallas. He went to Texas State. Essentially got the closer job in June. And the Yankees will lead off with Mark Teixeira. And the Mariners shift with 3 infielders on the right side. Yankees 2 runs down in the bottom of the ninth. There's a strike. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. 1-2. Teixeira, McCann, and Headley. Now 2-2.
Yeah, he tried to pick off the outside corner with a slider and missed.
Center going back. Jackson still back. It's over his head and up against the base of the wall. That kept going back on Jackson. And Mark Teixeira leads off the bottom of the ninth with a double.
Well, initially Jackson turned the wrong way. I don't know if he was fooled or didn't see it. He's going to turn to his right. And this ball is back over his left shoulder. So he loses some time here. Can't get back to the wall. The ball at the middle of the wall, and Teixeira's in with a two-base hit to get things started. Just that little hesitation moving in the wrong direction might have cost him a chance to make the play. It would have been a difficult play, but still he couldn't make it after the false step.
So Teixeira with the double. Here's Brian McCann. And he calls time. Something got in his eye. He's a Yankee offense today with his 2-run home run in the 4th inning. And as we mentioned, home runs have accounted for all 6 runs in the game. A pair of 2-run home runs by Canó, and then the 2-run home run by McCann, his 15th of the year. Now McCann's used to seeing 3 infielders on the right side. Not the case right now. Miller is shading up the middle at shortstop. But Canó essentially is the lone shifter as he is out on the grass in right field. Way outside.
One thing I noticed, Rodney closing games, he works very slowly. Smith is the exact opposite. He's ready to go.
Yankees looking for some late afternoon lightning. Grounded foul. Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes, 1 away.
This is the best pitch that Smith has thrown in the game so far. It was a very nasty slider down and in. Right over the top. Make it look like a fastball, and then it disappears.
Here's Chase Headley. 1-0. Garrett Jones is on deck. And now Lloyd McClendon wants to talk things over with his closer. Doesn't send his pitching coach out.
Maybe just trying to relax him. Say there's nobody warming up. It's on you. That was quick.
I think that was more pep talk or a scold.
Yeah.
2-0. 2-1.
Outfield's very deep. They'll give up a single. They don't want a ball hit over their heads and have Headley get into scoring position.
And Headley steps out, swatting away a fly. Two, 1. 3-1. And the pitch. Fouled off the fastball, 3-2.
He's had a couple of good swings during this at bat. He kind of has the fastball measured, just couldn't make the contact. See if Smith reads the bat, comes back with the slider. Maybe the similar pitch that he threw to McCann on 3-2. Yep, he went to it.
Teixeira led off with a double. He's still at second with 1 out. 3-2 count on Headley. Jones on deck, the 3-2. Swung on and missed. The ball gets by Zunino. And Headley reaches. And moving to third is Teixeira. So the Yankees catch a huge break.
They're going to go and let a strikeout and a wild pitch, and we'll get another look. Yeah, it was kind of down near the dirt, so they can call that a wild pitch. Headley heads up enough to head down to first. No throw by Zunino, so the Yankees have the tying runs on base and a winning run at the plate.
Take Headley out, and they bring in Chris Young to pinch run. So now the tying run's at first, and the winning run is at home plate in the person of Garrett Jones. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Yankees making it interesting here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Seattle 4, the Yankees 2. The 1-0. Chop foul. Teixeira at third. The pinch runner Young is at first. 1 man out, bottom of the 9th. Each team with 7 hits. Mariners lead 4-2. Yankees keep stepping out, and as Kenny said, Smith looks like he likes to work quickly. One. 2-1.
There's that slider, and to me, he throws it close enough to the strike zone, but he wants it to dart out of the zone. And you can lay off it like Garrett Jones did, gets ahead on the count. That's when you get better pitches to hit. Just don't chase him, man. The pitch forces the pitcher to catch more of the plate and elevate the pitch as well. Discipline, plate discipline. Don't chase.
2-2. Shortstop Miller almost behind second base. Canó shades into the hole on the right side. Jones leads off first. 2-2. 3-2.
Well, he likes throwing at the lefties, doesn't he? Down and in.
And usually doesn't throw it for a strike,
no.
as you mentioned, if you can identify it. Now with a 3-2 count and 1 out, does Girardi send Chris Young?
I just don't like the idea of a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Does not go. Fouled away.
You can see where the Seattle infielders are. They're not playing really. They're playing deep enough just so they can get one if they can.
Tap slowly left side. Going to be a tough play. Throw to first. And they get Jones. Run scores. And now Young moves into scoring position. And Seattle leads 4-3. So an RBI for Jones on the slow roller to short.
Let's take a look. Well, that was probably ball 4. It was outside. Jones not taking a chance. And Miller making a nice play, throwing on the run for out number 2. That was definitely outside.
A big spot now for Didi Gregorius. The tying runs at second base. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. And there's a strike.
You saw the outfielders deep before. Now they've moved up. They want to have a play at the plate. All 3 of them have moved closer. Base hit in their direction. They want to be able to have a chance to throw Young out at the plate and prevent the tying run from scoring.
And that's the call there. That's the play. But Gregorius has some pop. Left fielder very shallow. Seth Smith, the 0-1. 1-1. And on deck, the rookie Rob Refsnyder.
Well, this is the first time we've seen Smith close, and it looks like it might be a thrill-a-minute closer.
And now the Yankees are down to their final strike, 2-2.
He's thrown 2 sliders for strikes to Gregorius, and that one was almost down the middle.
Just got a piece to stay alive. Oh, they are certainly making Carson Smith work. He's thrown 29 pitches. Can they get the big hit, though? Teixeira started with a double over the head of Jackson in center. McCann struck out. Headley struck out. But the ball got by Zunino, allowing Headley to reach first. Then a slow ground ball by Jones scores a run, moves the pinch runner Young to second. That's where he is right now with 2 outs. 4-3 Mariners lead. Bottom of the 9th. Pitch. Ground ball to second. Canó is there, and he flips to first, and that will do it as the Yankee rally falls short in the bottom of the 9th, and they lose this one by a score of 4-3. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So Canó, with a pair of 2-run home runs, ends up defeating his former team. What we'll do right now, we'll throw it back to the studio where Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry will set the table for the rest of the day.